All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Monday, December 1st. 25 days out, guys. Christmas is right around the corner. Listen, let's talk about a few things before we dive into it. I'm Trooper Steve, your traffic safety expert here at WKMG News 6, plus anything else they want. We have a great time. That's what we do. So what we do here, we stream from the truck as much as possible. During the holidays, we tend to slow down just a little bit. But, yeah, it's been a heck of a morning. So let's talk about the past week, right? Thanksgiving, Black Friday, small business. Is it Saturday or Sunday? One of those. And then today's Cyber Monday. A lot of traveling, a lot of shopping, a lot of the holiday fog. And what I mean by fog is not only being forgetful for just about everything, but we forget that there are so many of us that are going through the exact same thing. Last week we had some really great conversations, but I think the best conversation we had was with Trooper Garcia from the Florida Highway Patrol. And I loved it because it wasn't just a bunch of one-liners and talking points. It was emotional, kind of like, look, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because it's not the turning signal that's causing the issue. It's not the speeding. It's this. It's all right here. And we got to get focused. We got to get hyper-focused on how we operate our cars. So it being Cyber Monday. Not many people, at least I hope not, are out in the cars shopping. Good morning, my girl Sue. Hope you're doing good. Is the returns, the parking lots, valuables in your car. So what do I want to talk about with you today? We're going to spend 10, 15 minutes in the truck, in a parking lot, talking about some of the do's and don'ts. One, driver safety. Then personal safety, you, and then of course keeping your valuables safe. I can't hold your hand. I can't, as my mom would say, hit the reset button to get you kind of going. My mom's reset button was back here for me, not up here. But like, hello, pay attention. Where, if this was a beautiful Tiffany's bottle and had Tiffany's, I'm not a jewelry person, but if this was a Tiffany jewelry, I would not just leave it sitting like this and being like, oh, let me just go to the next store. So we're going to talk about something I do, and I keep in all my cars. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. But it's kept me safe. It's kept my valuables mine. And if you don't think the criminal element is not out and watching us during this time, you are strongly mistaken. So mistaken. So let's talk a little bit parking lot safety first. Let's do some stuff. Let's talk. All right. So I'm in a private parking lot currently, a clothing store, department store parking lot. This parking lot's a little weird. Not a big fan of it, but it's very empty. So it gives us the opportunity to talk about some things. So when you're in a parking lot, think about it. Parking lots are like the wild, wild west of traffic safety, right? Pedestrians, kids, carts, distracted drivers. Even now in today's world, we have these e-bikes all over the place, and they're so unpredictable, it's insane. So some things to keep in mind. 5 to 10 miles an hour all the time. I don't care if you're in a rush, if you're running late. 5 to 10 miles an hour, you should never exceed anything like that. But if you also think about it, what's it allow for you to do? It allows you to be reactionary, okay, and proactive. So what? You're being proactive by doing 5 to 10, and then you're able to react properly because of the proper speed that you're doing, right? So never anything more than 5 to 10 miles an hour in a parking lot. Stay off that phone. Every second is a distraction that your eyes are away from the front of your vehicle. Every second. And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. So as we're cruising around the parking lot, some other things. This one's obviously empty, right? How often do you go into it and you're just hunting for the right spot? Raise your hand. I've done it. A couple of years ago, I stopped doing it. What do I mean by that? You pull up in a parking lot. You're always looking for the front row parking. Why? Why are you doing that? And I get it. We want to be closer. We always need to win. We need to be first. But why are we hunting for a parking spot that saves us a couple of feet, that couple of seconds, that might be more difficult to park in the first place? Thinking where I'm going with this, right? So when you're looking for that front row spot, sometimes parking a little further away is actually more helpful. Think about this for a second. So if I was trying to find a park in results 1 here, if I want to go all the way up to the front, the chances of me parking in between another vehicle, pretty slim. So I want to avoid those tight spots between large SUVs and where like visibility becomes zero. So there's a spot, and I want you to see it. I could cross the lane of traffic and go park next to where this Tesla's going to park. Nope, Tesla's not going to park there. It is. It's going to back in. We're going to talk about backing in the next photo. That guy's not the very best parker, but it's fine. But I had one of those two options, where that Tesla is or right behind it. Why would I do that if I know I'm going to be right up on another car, when just 2 spots over, there's more space? What am I trying to drive home here? Just because it sounds convenient doesn't mean it always is. We should slow down a little bit, right? Pause. I always talk about pausing. Okay, yeah, that's a good spot, but this one, it's got more space, more lighting, more visibility. I have bigger clearance. It's the totality of where you're parking. Does it really make it convenient, or is just your first idea about it convenient, right? Choose a well-lit area, especially at night, guys. I'm going to say they being the clowns, the criminal clown. They're always watching, so you got to pay attention. So for me, I see this nice extra spot right here. Heck, I'm just going to pull right into it because it's a good spot. Now, I'm going to also do something. I'm going to pull forward. Someone's going to go, "Oh, Steve, you're not allowed to do that." Wrong. So as long as the parking lot doesn't specifically say you can't pull in, you can't park in reverse, when you have the opportunity to park in reverse, I always do. Okay? This is a controversial topic in traffic world. It's a little weird because some of you guys get really, well, if you don't know how to back in, you shouldn't back in. You're right, 100%. But if you've practiced and if it's become a skill of yours, backing in to a parking spot is way safer, okay? It reduces blind spots when leaving that parking spot. Reversing into a space, if you just think about it, is safer than having to move out into traffic. Because here, I've parked, I've been able to pull forward into the space, right? So now, though, when I leave, I have no visibility issues. So if I wanted to just continue out, we're good to go, and I'm able to see where I'm going. Traveling in reverse is one of the most dangerous maneuvers that we do. So you got to make sure you're paying attention. And pulling out also allows us to see pedestrians, right? Pedestrians, children, things like that are driving out and about. So I'm going to recommend something. Some of you guys might think I'm crazy. Keep your headlights on in a parking lot. So many of our cars have the automatic lights now, which are great, but this is one of those moments to be seen, not necessarily for you to see kind of situations. So when you're out in a parking lot, turn your headlights on. You can kind of see the reflection of our headlights in the distance there. Always keep our driving lights on. Not everything I'm saying is written in law. I'm trying to just make you a kind person, okay? So even if someone's not in a crosswalk in a parking lot, I want you to yield to them, okay? There are no crosswalks in a parking lot, so therefore, you should practice yielding to them. If you're practicing to them, you're prepared for the kid that might come running out from the blind spot from a car that's already parked, okay? Watch for families with strollers. Children are unpredictable, so I want you to be careful. Then, of course, the shopping cart stuff. You already know how I feel about that. Please, 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 if you're going to use a cart, return the cart. I think that should be a ticketable offense. I should be able to walk around with $100 tickets if you don't return your shopping cart. But that's not. It's private property, private ownership. So we kind of just talk a little smack about that. But you want to avoid that because, hey, look, the last thing you want is a cart coming running into your car. Okay, here's a good one. Let's move to a parking spot here. I'm going to pull right into this one here. We're going to talk spacing, okay? Whenever you're parking your vehicle, you never want to be too close. I get it. Spots are tight these days. But dooring and vehicle spacing, okay? Give yourself plenty of room for your door, but also for you. What do I mean by that? How often do we park next to a car and the door's like right here, right? You hear my alarm going off? Hold on. How often, stop. How often do we open a door and it's like, all right, I got to wedge out a little bit. This is not only unsafe for you as a person, but now you might damage someone's vehicle. But Steve, that was the parking spot I found. Nope, that was the parking spot you chose. So many other options. Sometimes we're limited and we got to get the one we have. But when there are other spaces available, please use the space. I'm doing this. Can we pop that question back up? Please. I saw that. Yes. Okay, to push the shopping cart across the parking lot if there is no. No! Return the cart. Return the cart. Return the cart. It's not law, guys, but this is my biggest pet peeve in the world. If you are using the cart, it is your job to return the cart. The cart wasn't sitting in the middle of the parking spot when you got it. It was probably sitting in a nice piece that was sanitized, and someone took the time to put it there so it didn't hit your car, so you should do the same. I'm sorry, I stand 0 on that. Or 0. All right. The door spacing leads me to the situational awareness when walking around. So this is some key things here. I want you to focus. How often do we walk like this? Okay, cool, car's there, all right. Stop doing that. I want you to put the phone down, head and eyes up when walking in a parking lot. Few reasons. One, the safety of you and other vehicles, and so you don't get whopped by a car, but people are watching you. If you look like a victim, they will treat you like a victim. Not everybody is prepared to defend themselves, but what we see is reality, right? So if someone looks like they're squared away, they're paying attention, I'm not, as the criminal element, I'm not looking for that person. I am looking for the least path of resistance to what I want. What I want to steal things, right? So head and eyes up, phone in your pocket, keys in your hand. That's how you're walking to and from your car all the time, whether you're going from your car to the store or the store to the car. 2 reasons I'm telling you to put your keys in your hand. 1, you can sound the alarm on your car, make a scene, make some noise if something happens. And then, of course, number 2, keys can be used as a weapon to defend yourself. All right, whether you're scratching or punching, just be aware. Situational awareness. Okay, this is one of my fun ones because one of my coworkers thought I was crazy when I first started doing this, when I first met them, because I was like, look, keep a blanket in your car. They're like, what? Keep a blanket in your car? Yes, whenever I go shopping, all the time, shopping, I keep a dark blanket in my vehicle. Now, for my military veterans out there, you might know this as a military poncho liner. Keeps you warm, and I've had this for about 20 years. But I keep this in my car. Anytime I go shopping, if I'm keeping something visible, I don't care if it's a clothing shopping bag, retail, out and about, especially now, a dark blanket. I place my items on the floor if I can't keep them in the trunk, and I throw the cover on it with a little bit of a tint and a little bit of cover on the floorboard, people are looking and they're moving on. So you're locking your doors, you're covering your items, either securing them in your trunk or a dark blanket in your vehicle, or a blanket or a towel that matches the interior of your car, and then you put it on the floorboard, back seat. A little darker, little tint, can't even see it. But it takes you to be aware of stuff like this. Steve, are they really looking? I promise you, they are looking. They are looking. And every single they, I want to smack, because they are looking for people who are doing the right thing, and they're trying to prey upon you. So I want you to be prepared so it doesn't happen to you. Lock it or lose it, baby. Lock it or lose it. How many cars actually in today's world get broken into? Not many. Not many. It's usually just a boop, doors open, and we're losing firearms for irresponsible gun owners who leave their firearm in their vehicle and the door unlocked. We're losing high dollar items, keys, garage door openers, the works. But what was the criminal element looking for? They were looking for a crime of opportunity. You provided that opportunity. Lock those doors. Don't rely on auto lock. Make sure it's locked. I've got a few different vehicles. They all lock differently. So it's up to you to make sure that you're aware of things like that. Okay? Oof. Can you tell that kind of stuff gets me a little wound up? Just because it's all preventable, right? So, before we wrap this up, a few key things on how to be a good parking lot neighbor. Obviously, I'm trying to get you to make sure you're paying attention, return your carts, park straight, keep your headlights from blasting other drivers, stuff like that. It's that awareness. It's about not being selfish, right? It's about knowing that every car out on the road is going through it. Meaning, if you're stressed about something, guess what? They are stressed about something. All right? Traffic flow basics in a parking lot. Some of you guys think you can do what you want. Follow the flow of traffic. Here, random stop sign place. I'm not just going to blow past it. It's there for a reason. I'm going to respect the traffic sign, and I'm going to go. There's also pedestrian entering and exiting the store there. So it's all about checking the ego during this time. The holidays, I put a post out for December. It should be all the time, but it's be positive, be optimistic, be respectful. If there's any time that we can do it, it's now. And I can promise you, no one's car is just randomly turning a turning signal off. No one's car is just parking itself crooked. No one's car is stressing out another driver because they feel that they're the only ones with problems going on. All right? So, it is Cyber Monday. We went over a lot of stuff. Key takeaways: patience, hide your valuables, obey the traffic signs in a parking lot, carry that dark colored blanket or that blanket that matches your interior of your car so that you could conceal those items. Some of the traffic ones that we talked about, if you can, I know some will shake their head. If you're a good reverse parker, back in a parking space so that you can pull out nicely. But if the parking lot says don't do that, don't do that. So guys, please be safe. Have an amazing day. You got me here all week. We're going to have a great time, do some other streams. But for now, I'll see you guys later. And to tune in at News 6 at noon, because meteorologist Julie Broughton and I will be anchoring that. I'll see you guys later.